Growing up poor. Hello, you all. I am Diana Brienne, and I got to thinking today about growing up poor. You know, I grew up really, really poor, and I grew up in a really small area. And I always jokingly say there were two classes of people in our town, the poor people and the dirty necks. And the poor people always looked down on the dirty necks. And, I tell the story about when I was little. I was 6 years old and my brother was 16. And we had this old car that only worked in one direction, reverse. And so my brother and we would go after what was called food commodity boxes, and we called them surprise boxes because we never knew what we were going to get in them. But that was long before food stamps ever came out. And so we would go get our surprise boxes on the courthouse steps in another town. And so my brother and we would drive in our old car. I would be on the lookout to make sure that, no one caught us driving in reverse. And so he would drive the car all the way in reverse to the courthouse. We would pick up our surprise boxes, which usually had leftover food in it that, not hardly anybody wanted. And then we would drive all the way back in reverse with me on the lookout. And if we saw a policeman, well, we would just kind of pull over to the side until he passed us. And so that was my childhood. I always say we were so poor that our dog ran away 2 doors down to the dirty necks. And that was the truth. And so, in life, you just have to keep your sense of humor. And sometimes the best comedians base their jokes up on their own reality. And, I believe that growing up poor really, really affected me. And did it have a negative effect? I think initially it could have, it may have, but I think in the bigger picture, it blessed my life because it gave me a drive that many people don't have. A drive in the sense of I wanted to be my best me, to dig myself out of that lifestyle. And, I didn't see anyone progressing around me. They all kind of just stayed stuck. And I knew I didn't want to stay stuck. When I was about 6 years old, there was a coloring book contest, and it was somehow connected to Disneyland in California. And so I colored every page of that book the best I could. And we were supposed to send the coloring book out there, I believe. And I don't really know if my mother ever did, but she told me she did. And I just thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to win this contest and go to Disneyland. Well, I didn't win that contest, but later in my life I got to Disneyland and eventually even Hollywood, where I had always dreamed of going. And I lived there. I ended up living there. And not in Disneyland, but in Hollywood. And so the thing about it was that being poor just instilled in me the work ethic. It instilled in me a lot of great things. It also instilled in me the simplicity of life, how we can live a wonderful life on so little, and how excited I get when I get a great deal. I'm very good with being frugal. I love being frugal, and I love to I used to use coupons. I don't use coupons now, but I love to go to the store and get a great deal. And so that still, excites me to get a great deal. But I think it just gave me a great work ethic. It gave me the ability to develop myself. A lot of people who are given everything never appreciate what they have, what they get, and they end up losing it one way or the other. Or also, a lot of people who are always given everything are sometimes not all that happy of people. But people who had to work for what they've got often seem to be happier people and more grateful people. So I would say growing up poor gave me the spirit of gratitude, and it gave me the spirit of the work ethic. It gave me the spirit of a good sense of humor, and I think it did a lot of good things in my life. So I believe that sometimes our life experiences that we would otherwise consider negative, if we allow them to shape us in the right way, they can shape us in the right way, and they can shape our futures to be everything we dream of. Well, I hope you subscribe to my channel, and I will hopefully talk to you all soon. From my house to yours, God bless you, and I'll talk to you then.